Hey, welcome everyone to BAG. I'm so excited. I'm your host today, Lawana Jean Parker, and I have a very special guest. If you are a new author or you're thinking about writing a book, or you have something that you started and you're not quite sure where to go with it, then you come to the right place. We are here to help you. And we have authors who have started their books and are excited about it. They may have gotten it written, maybe even gotten it published, but they haven't launched it. And they just want to make sure that everyone knows that it's out there. Today, we have a very special guest. I'm excited to have her. I've known her for a couple of years now. And her name is Wonderful S. Davidson. She is a Christian author. She was raised in Vallejo, California. Can you believe that? Somebody was born and raised in California. She is the founder of Wonderful Unlimited Production and Who's Who in Unique Names. She enjoys helping seniors, writing poetry, and being an advocate for our youth. We need that, definitely. Wonderful has been working in the community for over 40 years, building up our youth self-esteem. Likewise, since she retired from the state of California, she's on a rapid mission to save our youth from dying on the streets through manners control. Please put your hands together and let's give a very warm, rousing welcome to Wonderful Davidson. So happy to have you here today, Wonderful.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
This is great. I remember when I first met you and you talked about writing a book, and then you went ahead and did it, and you didn't tell me.
I'm sorry. I've been so busy trying to promote it.
Well, let's hope we can get you some help today from our audience. Now, I remember the name of your book, but I want you to tell it to the audience, and I'm getting tongue-tied here, because I think it's such a beautiful title and so apropos for today. We need it. So please share with us the title of your book and why you decided to write this particular book now.
Pearls of Wisdom for Young Ladies, a mini manual for Christian girls, period. Now, before I actually go into great detail why I've written the book, I want to share a little information about myself that leads up to writing the book. As a child, I was labeled a retard. That brought on low self-esteem, self-pity, depression, feeling hatred inside, feeling like a monster. Those were all the things that I was going through as a young girl.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I didn't know I actually didn't know how to deal with it. But it really hurt me when I would go to church sometime and people would stare at me, be judgmental. But my mother was so inspirational in my life that I just caught on to faith because she had so much faith. Being that she was a single mother, she was being ostracized in the church as well. And that really affected me in a negative way. But through all of that, Lawana, I caught hold to faith and courage. And I believed in God that he was going to get me through this problem that I was going through. And I just knew that if I committed myself to the Lord, that he was going to help me navigate through my life. And that's what he did. That's what he did. I was in special training for many years. Eventually I found out once I got into college that I had a learning disability. But during the 1960s, they didn't really, try to assist or help you too much. They just threw you in a class with a group of people that had all kind of medical and physical challenges and wheelchairs on. It was just something else. Children were having lingoed heads, and it was like I was in a zoo. And
so is this what led you to want to write about manners?
And yes, it led up to that. Yes, ma'am. Because what happened was I began to learn about social skills, how to interact with people, you know,
Mhm.
how to navigate through school and in the community, how to have respect
Mhm.
for the elders, for my mother, how to respect authority, how to go in and out among people. And as I began to use those skills, as I was learning down through the years, I saw that it helped me become a better person. And I
Okay.
didn't fall through the cracks.
Okay. And
So,
so you chose to
yeah,
work
that's
with the
one
youth.
reason.
You, I see you
Yes,
chose to work
because
with
I
the
did,
children.
yes, because I didn't want them to go through what I was going through. I didn't want them to feel the rejection. I wanted them to feel empowered that they were somebody special. And there were some people that came into my life, some people in the church, some people in the neighborhood,
Mhm.
my teachers. They saw that I had potential and they began to encourage me and push me. And
Mhm.
I wanted to take those attributes that I learned from people that had a positive impact in my life and help rescue children.
Well, good for you. There's something to me anyway about when you're working with children, because for a number of years, I worked with children as well. I worked on self-confidence, and it's a very satisfying and rewarding work when you see children grow and you see the confidence that they gain as they're working with you and step out on their own. Some of the kids that I had good fortune to work with, and I say good fortune because I also learned from them as well. But I've seen where some of them have gone on to do some pretty good things, and that
Oh, yes,
always gives you a
ma'am.
warm feeling. So
It
tell me,
does.
where can we find your book?
On Amazon, just look under my name, Wonderful Davidson, or Pearls of Wisdom for young ladies.
Okay.
And what I want to say, Lawana, is that back in 1930s and 1940s and 50s,
Mhm.
um, we were sitting as a family. We were sitting around the table and talking. We exude politeness, being gracious, being manable, being having etiquette. All those things, all those characteristics we were bringing at our table as we were eating our dinner, eating our meals, we were able to take that and apply it out there in the world. And I recognize today in this society that we're living in, as Americans, we lack manners.
Mm. Well,
And being
I
that we
agree with
lack
you there.
manners, that's one reason why you find so much trouble taking place among our young people. They don't know how to interact. They don't have the social skills. They don't know how
Mm.
to have respect. And so
Well,
they need someone that can mentor them. We have many mothers that are teen mothers. They didn't learn the skill in etiquette and manners, social skills. They didn't learn none of that. No
so they
fathers
can't
in the
pass it
home.
on. They can't
They
pass it
can't
on
pass it
because
on. So right, for the last 40 years, I would say, you know, I haven't seen manners.
well, I have to
So
share
if they don't
something
have
with you.
manners,
Let me share something with you really quick. It has nothing to do with writing, but my son just returned from Louisiana. And I asked him, I said, so how did you like it there? And he said, the people are so nice and so polite. Everybody speaks to you. So that just,
that's true.
just on the back of what you were saying, uh, that's
That's
what's
true.
missing. You know, I applaud you for taking that on because that's a big challenge in the world today.
Well, Luana, I was doing some research and I see where the U.S. Department of Education Office for Civil Rights, they have some statistics on Black girls. Did you know there are over 1.3 million women in prison and more than half of them are Black?
Wow.
Isn't that something? Think about it. Think about it. In 2017, there were 92% African American women in prison.
Those are some
Now,
hard.
why is that? Why is that? Compared to half of white women being in prison. Why is that? How are they being funneled to prison? What's causing them to get funneled to prison? I'm trying to reach them. I'm trying to sound the alarm before they even have a mind to want to act out and behave unseemly. That's what I'm trying to get to the root before they get uprooted.
So do you have a program to work with them?
Yes, I have a curriculum. Yes, I do.
And if
And
someone
I want
wanted
to teach
to,
life skills.
how would anyone find you to perhaps get their children involved with your program?
Ma'am, all they need to do is call me at 707-624-9052. I want
Okay.
the young people to thrive. I want them to succeed. I don't want them to fall into the pit of destruction. Our children need to know what is the meaning of values. They don't even know that. What is the meaning of morals? What is etiquette? What is respect? What is manners? You know, some of these killings out here, we wouldn't have such a large death rate among the black youth if they just used some of the golden rules that's in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even know what the golden rules is. Now, that's what the police told me. I asked them. He said they would just apply themselves to the golden rule. A lot of them would come up dead. But if they don't know the golden rule, they ain't been taught in the home. That's where they end up,
Well,
smothered
they
and
also have to
choked.
be willing to learn and to accept. I can remember one time when I got in trouble. I was 18 years old and I got in trouble. And in those days, 18, you were still considered a child. Your parents were still responsible for you. And I remember my mother talking to me, and I said, "Mom, you don't have to worry. I will not do that again." I picked up something that I had no business picking up and got stopped with it. And that was all I needed. I knew that was not a place I wanted to be. But today's
That happened to me
children
too. I was a kid.
almost take it as a badge of honor. And I don't understand that. You know?
Right. You're right. I was also looking at a statement. It says here, manners maketh a man, according to William Buckingham, the Archbishop of Winchester. How true is this saying today? Good manners are a sign of good upbringing, but due to the lack is if good manners have the detrimental effect on society today.
Mhm.
Good manners are more than just saying please and thank you. Manners are a way of showing respect to others. The loss of this leads to more selfish society.
Mm.
And that's what's going on.
Yeah. Well,
Everybody for
tell us a little
themselves.
bit about what your book is about. What is it that you've written in your book,
Okay.
Pearls of Wisdom, that we can take some nuggets from?
Okay, let me go to, in my book, you look in the references, I'm talking about communications. Do you know, when you meet a person for the first time, within 6 seconds, they can make a determination on your character and your personality. That's so important to know. 6 seconds. They know who you are in 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
How you present yourself, the way you stand, the way you talk, how you shake their hand. Do you give eye contact? Do you smile? Do you look down? Makeup, address that. Address posture. Your appearance. Do you wear wrinkled clothes to church or in the community? Do you slouch? Do you have holes in your clothes? Are your pants halfway down your bottom part? Is your stomach hanging over your pants? You know, things like that. What kind of impression do you want to give? Do you want to be likable? Do you want to be friendly? Those are some of the things. I give information on how to prepare for college. How do you set your table? How do you dine when you go out? Do you put your elbow on the table? How do you use your spoon when you are eating soup? How do you eat your spaghetti? Do you know how to twirl it and use your spoon? How do you use your napkin? Do you use it to blow your nose on it? Or do you know how to tap it around your mouth? What do you do if you drop your utensils at the restaurant? Do you pick it up or do you leave it there? When you go to a banquet and you need to excuse yourself to go to the restaurant, what do you do? What do you do with your napkin? Do you lay it on your plate? Do you lay it on the side of your plate? Or do you put it back in of your chair? Those are some of the tips I give.
Yeah. Can you read a passage from your book?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right. Okay. Walk like this. Do you do the do's? Glide smoothly. Hold your head high. Remain vertical from hip up. Swing out from hip smoothly. Keep straight, moderate. Point feet forward. The don'ts. Drag or click your heels. Swish knees noisily. Or swing your arms. Overreach your stride. Drop heel with a thug. Slant head or chest forward. Sway hips unnecessarily. Okay. The main event, manners matter. Prelude. Respect your host or hostess time. Be punctual. If the unexpected happens and you cannot be on time, be courteous and let your host or hostess know. When you arrive, wait for the host or hostess to inform you about the seating arrangements. Take your seat after your head host or hostess. Use positive language when referring to your host home. Meal presentation or food. If there is something you do not like, do not draw attention to it. Instead, be complimentary of the food and the hard effort that went into preparing it.
Thank you. You know, some of those things you were mentioning, especially making sure you know which utensils to use when you're at a table. And one of them that was used to be a real battle for me, and sometimes I notice lately I've gotten a little lax in it, but sitting at the table with your elbow on it, you know, doing something like this.
Yes.
You know, that used to be, oh, somebody would pop you. Someone would knock their elbow off that table they caught you doing. But these are things we've forgotten because we've gotten so lax in society today.
Yeah.
So, you know, we need people like you to remind us and to bring us back to manners, because it does matter. It does make a difference in how you treat someone and in return how they treat you.
That's right.
I can remember my grandmother when I was standing and she was talking to someone. I was very young then, and I was standing there with my hands up on my head like this, listening to the conversation. I had no idea what they were talking about. I only know that all of a sudden, upside the head, children don't stand around listening to grown folks' conversation.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Nowadays, if she had done that, somebody would have reported her. She'd be in trouble.
That's true.
It's kind of sad because society is paying for the lack of manners that we have.
Yeah.
And I'm just so glad that you decided to take this up It's not an easy task what you're going to be doing.
Oh, it's not. I talk to parents. They say they need it. I say I don't mind going to teach a class to the parents, and to help to empower them so they can help their children.
Hmm.
That's my goal. You know, I want to go out and inspire the woman. That's all I want to do. I'm not trying to get famous, get fortune. I just want to help save a life. That's all.
Well, that's all it takes to get it going. That passion that you have for doing it, and to just keep doing it, because the kids you work with, they may not see it at first, but they will.
Right.
And one day they'll turn back to you and say, I'm so glad that you showed me how to do this. It can make a difference in a person's life. It truly can.
Yes.
So I'm just thrilled to death that you are doing this. Even more
Thank
that
you.
you decided to come on our show today. Thank you for
I'm
sharing
excited.
that. And for
I
those of
appreciate
you
it.
who would like to learn more about the Pearls of Wisdom, you can find it on Amazon.com. So be sure to go over there, look for Pearls of Wisdom, or look under her name, Sharon S. Davison. You'll find the book and support her.
Wonderful, 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 Davidson.
You know what? See there, you shouldn't have never let me know about the Sharon part, because now I'm doing Sharon instead of wonderful.
Uh-huh.
Let me share with you what the
That's
joke
okay.
is. I've known
That's
her
all
as
right.
wonderful for the last couple of years. And then when I asked her about her email, she tells me something different. So
Right.
now I'm going to have to remember wonderful, not Sharon. And
Yes.
anyways,
That's
you can
okay.
find her under
That's how you do
Wonderful
that.
Davison at Amazon.com and or Pearls of Wisdom. Support her by going over there and purchasing a copy of her book, because the work that she's doing, she can't just do it on her own. She's going to need support. So if there's any way that you can offer her some support, please reach out to her. And Sharon, could you share your number again with the audience?
Yes, ma'am. I'll be glad to. 707-624-9052.
Okay, 707 624
624 9052.
9052. So reach out to Wonderful, offer her some support, because our young people need it so much today. And when you have someone who's willing to work with them, they're not asking for a globs of money, but a little bit that could help her in getting the supplies and things that she needs to help
Yes,
them, and perhaps even take them on some field trips or things. Because
oh,
I
I love that.
remember when I was young, and the church had a program, and they took us on field trips. The first time
Yes.
I saw an offer was because the church was willing to take. Well, I was one of those that got selected. It was a group, but I was the one who got selected to go. But I never would have known about an offer had I not been selected to go on that particular field trip. Uh, and there were other things that happened. And it's because of people like you that makes it happen, that changes a person's world. And sometimes a simple thing like, you don't have to worry about this person, because they'll always know how to take care of themselves. They have the strength and the courage to do it. Such a small thing, but it can make a difference in someone's life. Yeah. So thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you so much
You're
for coming
welcome.
on and sharing what you're doing. I really appreciate that. And for the rest
Thank
of
you.
my audience, last week I had a challenge, and Wonderful, you can take part in this challenge if you would like.
Okay.
My challenge was that I would write a short story by the 21st of October. A
Oh,
short story. It could be 5, 10 pages. Don't have to be anything big or fancy, but I wanted to challenge myself to write a romance story, was what it was. And I thought if I did it on air, I would have to do it because I opened my
okay.
mouth.
All right. I like that.
Anyway,
I like that.
I did have something started. I'm really excited about that. And as I told them, it may not be published because it won't be publishable at that point. It'll need polishing. But I got it I got started on getting it on paper, and that's the main thing. So normally I read something each week, either something that I've written or something that somebody else read. So I'm just going to read the opening of a short story that I have gotten started, and it's going to need some pause because I got a little excited and it's taking too many pages for one little scene, okay? So Betty stepped out of the car and slammed the door in frustrated anger. Stranded. She was stranded, miles from a house or telephone. The night was blacker than pitch without benefit of a moon or even a single star to guide her. While she walked to find help, she jerked her purse strap on her shoulder and haphazardly belted her coat. Having seen nothing for miles in the direction she had come from, Betty decided to walk in the direction she had been headed. Maybe she wouldn't have to walk too far. Walk. Oh my God, she hated walking. All during junior high and high school, she had walked to and from school more than once. She had tried to count the steps so she could determine exactly how far she traveled each day. It never failed that she lost her concentration and her count. Since she had been an adult with her own car, she never walked anywhere she could drive. Now she was walking again. Just the thought made her angrier at being caught so far from nowhere with a car in trouble. So that's one page or
Oh,
more, but
wow.
I don't want it to hold up everybody. Just wanted to let you know that yes, I did do something.
Sounds good. Sounds great. It
Thank
does. I
you,
like
thank
it.
you.
I
So
like it.
I hope you will join us in our little challenge and write something. And it doesn't have to be a romance. It could be anything that you want to write. I just
Okay.
wanted to, I've always thought about writing a romance, but never made any attempts at it. So I thought, hey, why not challenge myself here? So anyway,
So you
all of
want to
you,
write? You
thank
want to write
you.
something?
I'm
You're
sorry.
welcome. You would like for us to write something?
Yeah, write something, anything, and you
Okay.
can, we'll bring you back on air and you can share with the audience, okay? On
Okay.
the 21st, we'll
It
make it
don't
a
have to.
special airing. Maybe depending on how many people get involved, we might stretch the show to 45 minutes or an hour. But we want everybody to come on and share what it is that they've written. So anyway,
Oh, that's
thank you
awesome.
all for being with us today. We surely appreciate the fact that you've taken a little bit of time out of your Sunday afternoon to share with us today. And wonderful. Thank you again for coming on and sharing
Oh,
with
you're welcome.
us your
Thank you.
pearls of wisdom. I wish you much success. I know you are going to succeed in what you're doing because it's something that we so need today. And I'm sure there are many parents out there who are looking for someone who can help them in that situation. So as every week we tell you, we are, well, one of our sponsors is California Cover Ups. And if you want to find out about her outfits, you can contact her through Terralina A, that's TerrilenaA at gmail.com. And as for the makeup and stuff, that's all provided by Beauty by Lawana. So you want to know anything about skincare or personal development, contact me at lwrepark@gmail.com. We're all here to help you because it always takes a village, as they say. All right, well, so much for today. Thank you again, all of you. You especially wonderful. And we look
Thank
forward
you.
to next week when we'll try to have another special guest for you. So until next time, stay safe and keep the faith.